Hello everyone, my name is Graphics. Today we want to reproduce the figure that is displayed at the top right corner of the screen using applying the principle of isometric, right? So whenever you are given a question in isometric, probably you are told to reproduce a figure in isometric. The first thing you should draw is your inclined axis. So what you do first of all is you take your set square, 30-degree set square, you move it and you're going to draw your vertical axis, and you draw your axis inclined at 30 degrees to the horizontal, and you draw it both in the left side and in the right side of the paper. Now this is the first thing you do when you are given a question isometric produce. Now if you look at the diagram clearly at the top right corner of the screen, you discover that the length is 80 and the width is 25. So this is what, let me give you a clearer view. Now look at what I mean here. This is my horizontal line here. This angle is inclined at 30 and is inclined at 30. So this is the length, this is the width, and this is the height. So we've already drawn the length and the width and the height. Now is to put in our dimension. Now from here, which is here, is 80, and this is the 80 here we're talking about, and the other side is what? 25. So let me measure 80 at the right hand and 25 at the other side here. So from this point, as I said earlier, is 80. Now measure the 80 from 0 to 8 is 80. Then the other side here is 25. So I'll measure the 25 at the side. So this is 0, this is 20, and this is 25 here. So I'm going to the two sides and I'm going to project it upward. So in projecting it upward, I'm going to be having this projected upward. And project this upward too. Now these are the two things we have here. And if you look clearly, let's see the total height of the figure. Now if you look at total height, this is height because this is y axis, another y axis here. So this is height 14. I'll call it height 1. And I'll call it height 2. You can see that. So height 1 is 14, height 2 is 30. So that's the total height we have. No any other height again, right? So 25 and 14 plus 30 will give us 44. I'm going to measure from this point upward with the distance of what? 44. So this point is this point here. So I'll measure 44 upward with my meter rule. So this is 0. Upward here is 44. Right? I can use this if I want to. I'll measure the 44 if I want to here. From here, up there is what? 44. Now I'm going to join what I did here to draw my inclined axis at this point here. I will move to this point. I'm going to just draw an horizontal line here. Now take my T-square. I'll draw this touch here from this point at the angle of 30. and turn this to this point this way. I'm going to join this also from here to this point here. So that is another 30. You look at the axis between here and here is 30, and here is what, 30. Now come to this point also. I'll draw another 30 now. I'll move my set square to that point. So moving it to that point. Can you see that? So this point I'm going to draw 30 this way. You can see that. Then I'll turn it this way around again, and I'll come here and I'll draw another 30 to touch here. So the lines, the lengths are all parallel. That means the length from here and here and here is parallel. The lines are parallel. Here and here is also parallel. The height are all parallel. So because they are all drawn using the same angle. Now after we've done that, you can discover that we brought out the shape at which we want to carve out. We want to carve out our shape from this box here. Now if you look at it clearly, from here to here is 14. There's a 14 here, right? So here to here is 14, here to here is 14, here to here is 14. They are all at the same level, right? So I'm going to measure 14 from this point to this point, which is this point upward. Somewhere around here is 14. So I'll take my meter rule and I'll measure 14 upward. You can see the same shape at the top right corner of your screen. This is 14 here. Goes from 0 to 1 is 10, and this is 14 here. Now in doing that, I will take my set square and I'm going to draw a front line from here to here, and from here to here. If you look at the top right corner of the screen, you discover that this point here is thickened. So I'm going to thicken it. Even the base also here is also thickened. I'll thicken it, compare it to the top right corner. Then here also, the top right corner is also thickened. So I'll thicken here also. Here also is thickened. I'll thicken it. Right, now the total length here is thickened too, so I'm going to thicken here. So you can see that, and this point here also is thickened. This line is thickened. This line here, which is this line here, this line here is thickened, but the thickness is not all through. It means that from here to somewhere around here is thickened, and from here, and there's a space here, and from here to somewhere around here is thickened. So what is the distance between here and here? We know from here to here is equal to from here to here, and that is what, 25. So it means if you look at this object here, this figure here is symmetrical. If I divide it into 2, what I find in my left side is equal to what I find in my right side. So if from here to here 25, from this point here, then from this point backward also is what, is 25. So that's what I'm going to measure. Measure 25 from here backward, and measure 25 from here forward. So I'll do that. So from here, I'll measure 25 from here forward first. From 0 to this point is 25, and I can thicken it on that line. You can see that. Then from here also, I'll measure 25 backward. So if you look at it clearly, this is where I'm stopping. So I'll start from 0, then 25, right? So I'm going to thicken it. You can see that. Now, if you look at the top right corner, from this point, this goes up to touch this, right? How did I mean? I mean that from this point to the top, I'll draw a straight line because I know my entire length cannot be more than what I have. So from here to here, I'll draw my line up. We know it is 30, and from here to here also, I'll draw my line and I'll close it up. So this point here is this point here. Measure it up and get my 30. If you measure it naturally, it's 30 because we already measured earlier. So from here also, measure it up 30, right? Now I'll come to this point. Look at the top right corner. From this point here, in the top right corner, I'll take it in with the help of my set square or my t square at an angle of 30 degrees. I'll take it in. It must not cross this line. You can see that. Then here also, I'll use my faint line. Just draw it this way. Then I'll turn my t square this way. I'll come to that point here. I'm going to join from here to this point, thick line. Because look at top right corner, it is thickened. Then I'm going to close it up. From this point, if you look at the top right corner, realize there's a straight line there which is thickened. So I'm going to close it up. So in closing it up, I'll be having this way. You can see that. Even at this point here, I'll close it up too. At this point here too, I'll close it up. And at this point here also, I'll close it up. I'm just replicating what I have on my diagram. Then here also, I'll close it up too. So I'm working with, it is more easier when you use your instrument. You don't have to repeat measurement, you just transfer your points. From here, I'll close it too. Now see that? Then here to here also, I'll close it too. Look at the top right corner of the screen and you compare. You are reproducing what you are given to. So I'll close it too. You can see that? So I'll brought out this shape here. Now we notice that from the top right corner, if you look at, check this side, there's a box here. If you check the top, there's a circle here. And if you check here also, there's a circle here. So let me start with my box. So for me to draw this box, now look at. Now giving you a clearer view, this is box here, that is here, right? And the length of the box is 18. Is that taken? So it is a square because from here to here is 18. Automatically from here to here also 18. So it's 18 all through. So what I'll do, whenever you're trying to draw a shape, you try and get the center of that figure. So I'll do that by getting the center. So the center, if from here to here is 30, as given in the diagram, you check here, the diagram realize it is 30. I'll measure 15. So 15 from this point. Measure 15 to have, if I move from here, this will be 15, 0, 10, and this will be what, 15. Right? Then also, I'm also going to measure 15. So it's easier for me to measure the 15 from this point to this point. It's said to be 15, right? Then if I just take this point also, it's another 15. So with the help of my t square and set square, I can just draw this downward this way, faint line. I can easily just draw this as faint line like this. And this one also, I'll draw this faint line this way. And this is where they are all meeting, right? So if you look at the distance of that circle, that square there, that is 18, you take half to this side, 9, and 9 to this side. So let me measure 9 on my meter rule. So I'm measuring 9 on my meter rule. From 0 to here is 9. So if I place it at this point, I'll get 9 here, 9 here, 9 here, and 9 here. So with the help of my t-square and my set square, place it on my t-square, move the set square, and you just draw an horizontal line this way too. Faint line first. You come here also, draw another horizontal line again, faint line first. Then you close it up. Moving your set square to this point you measured from here to here is 9. Move to this point and you connect this top to this bottom here with a thick line. And you come here also to the other point you measured 9. You come to the top and to the bottom also with the thick line. And you close it up. You close it up. Then you come here also, you close it up. Now, to show that it is a true, you just put your line from this point with the help of your set square, 30 degree inward. Now I have this. That again. Now look at the top right corner. You see we've brought this out. Now the second thing here is to get the circle here and circle here as shown in the diagram shown at the top right corner. So the first thing I said earlier is to get the center of each of those lines. You know from here to here is 25. Here also will be 25. So half of 25 is 12.5. So I am going to measure 12.5 here. So this is 25 here. Right? So this is 10. This is 11, 12. 12.5 will be in between 12 and 13. Right? That will be the center of that one here. Then here also, I'll just take my compass and I'll place it at this point here. Then gauge it. Then I'll move it to this point here. This is another 12.5. You can see that because from here to here also is 12.5. And with the help of my set square, I'll just come here and draw this. And I'll come here also and draw this. So I've gotten the center. This is the center. And I'll do the same thing here too. If from here is 25, here also is 25, here also is 25, so they will have the same center. So instead of me remeasuring, I can just transfer this point from here with the help of my set square. I'll move it to this point here, and I'll just move it. I might not just draw a line. I'll just mark at this point. This is 12.5, right? And I'll just roll it closely. This is the center of this. We already have the center of this, which is this. So I'll just close it up. So this will have faint line. This is the center here, and this is the center here. You at this point, I am going to draw my circle. The circle has a radius of what? 7. If you look at it closely, so if you look at the circle, it has a radius of what? 7. Radius of 7. So it's the same. So I'll measure radius of 7 on my meter rule, and I'll start. So with your compass, you measure the radius of 7 on your meter rule. This is 7 here, right? This is the 7 here, and I'll place it at this point. I'll mark top, right, left, bottom. The same thing here, bottom, left, right, and top. That is where I'm going to draw my square in which I will extract my circle, which is in form of an ellipse in isometric. So come here, draw the faint line, come here also, draw another faint line. Then now move it to the top here, come here too, draw the faint line, move it to the other point also, draw the faint line, right? That's for this point here. Then I'll turn it this way, take it to this point, connect the two parallel line, take it to the other point too, connect the two parallel line, come to this point also, connect, then come to this point also, connect. Now I've brought out the shape. So from this shape, with what I've been showing you all this while, I'm going to bring out my my circle. So we join the diagonal, it is easier. I'll join the longer diagonal because from here to here is longer than from here to here, so I'm going to join this. You can see that. Do the same thing here also. I'll join this. Right, so I will join this point to this point and this point to this point, just like this and like this. I'll replicate the same thing here also, this point to this point, like this, then this to this, and like this. So I've forgotten here, I have, this is where I will draw my arc from, right? And this is where I'll draw my arc from. So I can give you a faster and efficient way in drawing this, since the circle is something that's radius of 7, and this is what I'll do. Now I can easily use my compass and place it here and draw a circle this way. I'll draw a circle this way. I'll gauge it. I'll have this. Can you see that? And I'll come here also. I'll do the same thing here. I'll have this. That again. You can see that. Place it here also. I'll have this. Now I'll close it up. You can see that. And I'll come here. I'll close it up too. So this is what we have here, right? I can use my compass or I can use my French curve. So look at method 2. The good news is I can see the shape of this in my French curve. Now look at my French curve here, right? If I try this 17.5 here on this, I can see that it can fit into my square here, so it can fit in. So whenever I want to use this, after I've brought out this square, ensure that the ellipse can fit in easily. So look at what I have here. You can see that. So if I do that, I'll just draw this man here. Bam. So I have this way. So you can either use this or use your French curve. After you've drawn out your circle, you realize you can do that. So if you found this video helpful, please don't forget to click on the subscribe button. Thanks for watching.